Hello everyone, welcome to the lunar and solar eclipses of November and December 2020. If you've ever been on a train and all of a sudden the track switches in a new direction, it's a little bit startling. You weren't expecting it. Well, guess what? That's exactly what these eclipses are going to bring in everybody's lives. This total solar eclipse, particularly on December the 14th, is a game changer. So if you're new to my channel, sub below and let's begin. Let's start with the lunar eclipse on the 29th, 30th of November. It's wide-ranging indeed. From Europe, including the UK, it can be seen all over the USA, South America, most parts of Asia, but though not all of India and Australia. So the astrology, everybody. Rahu is in Taurus. The first eclipse in this cycle of Rahu in Taurus and Ketu in Scorpio. A new path for everybody. If you are unclear of what this axis, Taurus, Scorpio, Rahu, Ketu, is for you, please check the link below. I have the full story for you right up until 2022. But now we have the first eclipse in that cycle, where the moon is eclipsed in the beautiful nakshatra of Rohini, ruled by the moon. So the moon is happy here and in fact exalted in Taurus. So the moon is in a happy state, but being eclipsed by a powerful Rahu. Notice also that opposed by Mercury, the Sun and Ketu. Mercury combust with the Sun is very important here. Mercury plays a really crucial role in these two eclipses. Now, this strong moon increases the sensitivity of this eclipse cycle because Mercury is so much about our speech at this time. And of course, from his position, he rules the 8th and 11th houses from Scorpio. So he's going to bring out 8th house factors, hidden, secret information that you may have had an idea about but weren't too sure about, will become startlingly known to you around the time of the 30th of November. Everybody will feel this. They will feel some truth in their life coming out from the depth of Scorpio. It will be emotional. It will be cathartic. Watch your speech at this time. You may say things that you regret. People's emotions are very sensitive at this time also. But it's very important to understand, everybody, that this information which is divulged to you at this lunar eclipse will actually not give you true answers, because there will still be a feeling of confusion, which will increase as we get closer to the solar eclipse in December. Because at that time, Mercury will be actually conjunct to the Sun, and a few days after the solar eclipse, in the closest conjunction, the deep information you need to make decisions in your life to move forward in whichever area of your life this is impacting will become available. Not until then. So I would really advise that in between these particular dates, the end of November and the 14th of December, you do not make any major decisions in your life, because you will have to revise them completely. The solar eclipse occurs exactly on the 14th of December 2020, but you will feel the effects of it almost immediately after the lunar eclipse as it builds up. It's visible on a very small scale in the world, but do not think that because it is only visible Southern Africa, Southern South America, so on, that it won't impact. It's going to impact everyone. This is a very dangerous eclipse, everybody, because all eclipses have paranoia and fear, but Scorpio is a sign of those factors. The Sun is the king of the chart, the Atmakarika, and in a dangerous and vulnerable position, virtually Gandanta, at the end of Scorpio in Jesta. Furthermore, do you notice that 3 signs are occupied only by the Grahas? That is Scorpio, Capricorn and Pisces. Rahu is not included. He is a shadow planet. This formation is known as a weapon yoga, showing that there is danger in the skies at this time, which is why I am advising caution for everybody. There could be danger in the environment also, because Jesta in this way has to do with flooding and actual danger from rains. Why? It is ruled by Indra, the god of rain. Now, the Jyesta energy of this eclipse is very important. Jyesta Nakshatra indicates a certain bitter energy. There is jealousy, there is definitely paranoia, but there is also a real vengeful factor here. There is a need to control and a need to confront enemies. Donald J. Trump's chart is definitely impacted by the power of this eclipse occurring in his 4th house. The sun, of course, right on his moon in Jyesta Nakshatra. A powerful transformation in his life, a complete moment of destiny. Check the link below. Again, I have discussed Donald Trump's potential future and Joe Biden. It's all there. You can read that for yourself. Of course, this solar eclipse, as I have indicated already, is a switch track in everybody's life. And this is particularly, again, going to impact the USA. This is the rising sign of the progressed 1920 chart of that country. A complete switch in economic activity and political system is going to occur there for sure. Indeed, the great reset that is much talked about now on the world stage is shown in this chart. Jupiter and Shani have now conjunct in Capricorn, and Pluto will enter that sign, showing great world transformation occurring on a global stage from January 2021. Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, of course, will impact everybody in their personal economic growth. I advise you to check out the video again on my channel where I've given predictions for everybody for Jupiter-Saturn conjunction and how this will reset your life economically also. But at the months surrounding this eclipse, the whole economic situation of the world is an extremely vulnerable situation because Mercury is being eclipsed by Ketu at this moment, sandwiched between the moon and the sun. The extreme vulnerability of Mercury is important. Mercury rules a fiscal situation on the whole planet. So business, economy, education, aviation, media even, all of the factors ruled by Mercury are under extreme stress between now and May 2021. In some ways, it could be called a D-Day situation where decisions made now are going to have such long-term implications. The floor could fall out of the markets completely. It's a definite possibility. At the same time, transformation is possible. All is definitely not lost. Do not fear, everybody. The factor is, of course, that the coronavirus is not contained completely. I have predicted correctly, as it turned out, that Jupiter moving from Sagittarius, check the video on my channel, into Capricorn would show the light of day for the corona situation. Exactly on time, we now have 3 vaccines. The problem is that there is the fear and paranoia and even conspiracy shown by this Scorpio configuration that is going to slow this all up until the summer of 2021 to get more control over this toxic virus situation. For certain, then, the energy of Scorpio in this eclipse is going to transform the world and everybody's life personally. Let's look at who is most impacted first of all, and then move on to your individual predictions. Now, everybody is definitely impacted by these powerful eclipses, but who is the most impacted by their rising sign, moon sign, and Mahadasha? The following signs. If you are Leo rising, Cancer rising, or Leo or Cancer moon, you are always impacted continually throughout your life by these eclipse factors. If you are Taurus moon, Taurus rising, Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising, these eclipses are definitely going to shake up things for you, as I will indicate in your readings. If you are in a Mahadasha of the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Rahu, or Ketu, most definitely this is a turning point for you. So let's move on to consider the individual impact on your life. Don't forget to read from your ascendant sign and your moon sign also to get the deepest information. For Aries moon and Aries Lagna, Rahu in your 2nd and Ketu in your 8th is a restructure of your life, a complete declutter. It's necessary because if I take you forward to 2022, Rahu goes backwards into your 1st house, starting a whole new powerful phase in your life, a new beginning from scratch when you gain power and prominence. It's going to be quite brilliant for you, but Until then, you've got to declutter. And Aries, you don't like this sort of maintenance work, do you? You want to just move on with your ambitions, but you can't get there unless you sort out your financial situation. It's in a crisis situation at this lunar eclipse. You need to sort out family, finance, relationships with your mother, maybe, because Moon is your 4th house lord. You need to sort out your home life too. It is in a completely chaotic state, isn't it? It needs to be sorted now. And you may need advice from experts. And if you are in a business situation, it's got to be restructured, particularly a business partnership. Finances with your spouse are also completely chaotic now and need to be sorted. So it's all about reckoning on those books, getting everything sorted, even if it means that you have to take a loss, even if it means that you are worse off. You have to do this declutter now for sure. 14th of December, though, it's all going to happen whether you want it or not, because the Moon, your 4th lord, is actually involved in this solar eclipse in your 8th house with Mercury, your 3rd house lord. So difficult conversations will be had about financial matters. Sudden, unexpected events that you couldn't have possibly anticipated in your family situation and in relationship situations, because Venus is your 7th house lord, will occur at the time of this total solar eclipse. Go with these. They are not going to destabilize you. You simply need to take action to make sure that you are listening to your spouse. Spousal finances and your finances are in crisis, and they have to be sorted, even if there is major loss at this time. If you are in any sort of litigations about family finance, wills, legacies, it's going to be critical at this time. It may not go in your favor, but again, you have to let this go. You have to let past family ambitions fade away, because there is a brand new start for you, and only by letting the reins of your past go can you find this new future. Here is a moment when you have to do that. For Taurus Moon and Taurus Lagna both, the great reset, if you like, as I've just been discussing, Rahu in your 1st house, you're the mover and shaker of this, and you're in control of your life, moving for a new 18-year cycle now in this direction. So basically, this eclipse is the first of these reset junction points where you have to leave the past behind, because it's all about you starting a new direction for yourself. So other people in your life are not happy with this, and there can be some disconcerting conversations now. The 30th of November, around this time, it's a full moon. It's cathartic. This eclipse is emotional because this moon is in your own sign. Actually, it's Rohini. It's a very beautiful nakshatra. It's about sensual delight and pleasure in life, but it's about selfishness in a way. It's not about pleasing other people so much as yourself. So you're not in a mood for compromise, but partners are not doing so well now, and they are demanding so much of you. There could be difficult conversations at this time. For some of you, partnerships are coming to an end because Ketu is here. You need to leave past partners, and even close friendships could be involved here, because 7th house is not just partners. So people who are very close to you, you may need to look at their purpose in your life and make important decisions, and conversations which you have at this time will bring many new factors about people close to you that you did not know about before. On the 14th of December, the information you've received is definitely going to impact how you deal with important others at this time. In December, there are important conversations with partners, close friendship, even business associates. Because your rule of Venus is involved in this eclipse, it doesn't seem to favor you at this time, and it becomes very tense for you. You are on a new journey, a brand new journey now, going to a new future. But people from your past are actually dragging your energy away from you. Some of them, not all of them. And it's a bit of a difficulty to find out who is who in your life. You need to look at all of these rulerships here, but it's definitely impacting your home life because Sun is your 4th house lord. You need to make a happier home life for yourself, and relationships have to change for this to happen. So important, difficult conversations will take place in December. Particularly watch out for the 20th and 21st when the Sun and Mercury, your 5th house lord, go into the 8th house of your chart. This is really crucial. This is when important conversations with your spouse are make or break. Not just spouse again, but important others in your life. When you absolutely lay your cards on the table and decide what your future is. Don't be afraid of this because it's actually going to bring you closer together. Rahu is favoring you when you take initiative at this time. But as I say, because Venus is eclipsed, you have to make many compromises at this time. It's always, though, going to be a factor that you cannot be the best you can be unless you have the right support of other people in your life. Gemini Moon, Gemini Lagna. Rahu now in the 12th house of your chart right up until April 2022. You're wanting a bit of peace in your life now. These next years are really about getting to have time to yourself. As a Gemini, you don't have enough of that, but you feel the need for it. The last 2.5 years have been stressful with business issues, relationship issues, and you just want a bit of retreat and peace to yourself. Unfortunately, at the first full moon eclipse, you won't be able to have that. There's too much emphasis on your 6th house here. There may be health issues coming up again, which you have to face. You may need medical intervention. It's your 12th house of hospitals. Some of you, but not all of you. But many of you will feel this need to escape from so much daily life pressure now. It's coming from your siblings. They are giving you a difficult time. You have to compromise with them, and they are demanding so much help. They may be actually sick at this time as well. So it's a really difficult full moon eclipse to have any time to yourself at all. But don't worry, the escape that you desire is coming your way. The absolute solar eclipse is in your 6th house, eclipsing difficult situations on your health front. You're going to find the truth of any health issue, including any health concern of siblings, as I have discussed. And it's going to be difficult to hear, but you need to, because you can then take action. And the best dates are the 20th and the 21st of December. Why? Because the Sun moves into your 7th house with your ruler in a combustion. This is very favorable. The Sun combust Mercury gives you consultation with experts who can solve all of your health and litigation problems for you. So do not fear. The heavy weight of the full moon eclipse will be removed at this total eclipse if you are patient. But expect there to be difficulties with siblings, with rivals in your workplace. It's not a pleasant atmosphere at this time. If you can find quiet time alone, getting away from it all with this Rahu 12th house, it will definitely help you avoid so much stress at this time. So for Cancer Moon and Cancer Lagna both, Rahu in your 11th house, Ketu in your 5th is most favourable. Right up until 2022, it's a great transit for you. Check the link below to see how new doors and new income are opening up to you over these years. But as soon as you get these eclipses happening, you have to make important readjustments. But that's all they are. But because you are such an emotional person, you will feel this end of November eclipse acutely because your ruler moon is obscured by Rahu. You have to watch women in your life, friendship circles. You have to be aware that any changes happening at the end of November in your work situation, in your income, are temporary adjustments that have to happen, and you're going to come through them to better times for sure. If you have children, so much disturbance is happening with them and you are becoming very stressed. Once again, stay calm. Don't take any fast actions at this time. Situation will actually resolve on its own, particularly when the sun moves away into your 6th house. It's going to calm down with your kids. So in December, it gets a little bit phobic and fearful because the sun is actually your 2nd house lord, and it's all about income and security. Your children again involved here. Mercury, your 12th house lord, fears about security of your kids, fears about education. If you are in education, it's a make or break solar eclipse. Do you have to leave the course? You may do, but you will find something better. If you work in education or you work in any situation with children, it can be disturbing. There can be job disturbances at this time. As I say, the situation with your children is very confused and a little bit even desperate. There's so much going on and you are becoming more and more worried at this time. This dark energy is obscuring common sense actually. But as I've said, when the sun and Mercury move together into your 6th house, you will get the information which you need. So you need to make a big note of these dates. It's the 20th and the 21st of December when important conversations with your family members and your children will resolve so much confusion for you. And if you are in any creative work situation, it's a major factor for you. This is going to bring you into a new sphere of influence. Your creativity is peaking. It's going to actually bring you fame and fortune. Go with any inspiration at this time. It's magnificently starred for you, Cancer. For Leo Moon and Leo Lagna, it's make or break time, isn't it? Check the link below to see how Rahu at the 10th house is starting a whole new career phase for you. You're starting something new. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to put you into the limelight. It's going to go so well for you. But this is a crisis point because you need to leave the past behind in some way. Ketu in your 4th house means you have to make home changes and they're hard for you. Your ruler in the 4th house is normally great, but Ketu there, you are feeling out of control in your domestic situation. You are not happy there. Things seem to have been happening to you rather than from you. And you're a Leo, you don't like that. You like to be in control for sure. The solar eclipse, Leo, which occurs on the 14th of December, is dramatic for you. All the action is in a Kendra house. Your ruler, the sun, with Ketu, Venus, Moon, Mercury, opposed by Rahu in your 10th house. Your career is taking you to a new place. Your career is going to put you in a prominent position, in a brand new situation where you will have total power and predominance. It's going to be fantastic, but your home life is dragging you down. There needs to be a change. Between now and the next eclipse, which is in May, you probably have to move home. At least you have to make a major renovation in your home situation. It's not working. In your family, there is tension. with your mother, maybe with women in your life, whether you are male or female. There is tension, family tension that needs to be resolved. Resolution will come, do not fear. When the Sun, Mercury go into the next sign here, when they actually move and conjunct together on the 20th and the 21st of December in Sagittarius, a fire sign, it's favorable for you. All of the hidden tensions evaporate. You get conversation which you need with your near and dearest. You get conversations with your family that sort out so much tension. So do not fear, no matter how afraid, and you are seldom afraid. You are the king of the jungle, don't forget. But you do feel this subconscious fear at this time. But no matter how deeply that goes, it may give you some sleepless nights around the middle of December. As I say, 20th, 21st of December, you have conversations, you get the information that you need, and you can move forward in your life to make major domestic changes between now and May 21. For Virgo Moon and Virgo Lagna both, it's a bit of a crazy time for you. Your ruler Mercury is implicated, conjuncting Ketu and the Sun, and Rahu and the Moon in your 9th house. This is a changeable transit up until 2022. Check the link below to see how this 9th house Rahu is changing your whole belief system. Your whole focus in your life is changing. You are becoming a different person virtually. Particularly if you are in higher education, this is the major turning point. This is where some of you leave course, start new course, make major decisions which are life-changing. Best thing is to wait until after the middle of December, though, to make these really important educational decisions. Some of you have important conversations with your father at this time. There may be hidden factors coming to the fore from father's side of the family and siblings at this time. It can be very tense, though, and including travel. My goodness, it's not a good time for being on the move. If you can avoid it, that is. If you have to travel, then you have to, but expect delays. They're definitely going to be there. Rahu Moon in your 9th house eclipsed is definitely going to affect your mental state because your Mercury ruler is involved. You are worrying, you are picking over everything in such detail, and you are feeling definitely destabilized by the information coming forth at this time. Stay calm because the real changes for you occur at the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse changes everything because you begin to see where you stand with deep conversations with other people. So many communications are happening with your siblings, with your family, and your ego is so strong now. Your ruler is eclipsed in the 3rd house, so you aren't expressing yourself at your best. You are worried. You are feeling the darkness of this solar energy, and you are completely paranoid about how people are seeing you now. So expect difficult family confrontations. Expect the travel is going to be just non-event, basically, with so many delays. Expect situations even with your mother, because Moon is here with your ruler, can become tense at this time. But the good news is this. After the eclipse fades away a little bit, on the 20th, 21st of December, the Sun and your ruler Mercury move into Sagittarius in your 4th house in a Kendra position. You are able to do the things you want to do in regard to your domestic situation. You get new information that settles many worrying concerns at this time. So for Libra Moon and Libra Lagna both, there are difficult family situations coming up for you with this lunar eclipse in your 8th house affecting your 2nd house of family. There may be wills, legacies, family finances that needs immediate sorting, and it's difficult. It's confrontational with family members. Mercury is your 12th house lord. You may have to travel suddenly into foreign lands at this time. You may have to restructure a business situation from the bottom to the top, really in an immediately desperate situation, or you may lose out financially. So quick action has to be taken to save financial situations, which may involve spouse. So it's a bit of a crisis time for you, and you are feeling very much ill at ease at this time. But you actually sort it out at the darkness of the solar eclipse. Why is this? Why is this better for you? It's better for you because Rahu is on his own now in your 8th house, and your ruler, Venus, has gone into the 2nd house to become part of this solar eclipse. So you have to accept that the past, family past, is leaving you in some way. For some of you, it may affect female relatives. For some of you, it's more about siblings as well, because siblings, particularly elder siblings, are very much involved in this transit. But most importantly, you have to adjust to a new life with new values at this time. Some of you are becoming a little bit overwhelmed and insecure because you are feeling that what made you feel that you belonged does not do so anymore. Rahu is taking you into a whole new feeling of security in your life, new relationships, new business situations. Even domestic situation will be totally transformed for you at this time between now and May 2021. For Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Lagna both, Rahu and Ketu in the 7th and 1st house, this is a major turning point of your life right up until 2022. It's churning up your relationships and close friendships, most importantly, particularly with women. They're going to be a bit difficult at this time, irrespective of your sex, but partnerships for everybody are under the spotlight now. You have been adapting to other people so much, and in a way it's what you have to do, because new people are coming into your life in these next 2 years that are very important people for you. Many of you, it's a marriage time, it's a new partnership forming, but this is a crisis point when you are beginning to think if your integrity is being compromised here. What's happening is you are getting to know things about other people, partners, close friendships that you didn't know before at this time, and it's a little bit disconcerting, even frightening. It's making you retreat into your private space for sure. The solar eclipse, Scorpio, the 14th of December, is really chaotic for you because there is so much emphasis on your own power at this time. The sun in your 1st house, but moving towards a Gandanta point in Jesta, there is a bitterness, there is a determination to have it out with important other people. There can be heavy arguments, a heavy feeling of being cornered, if you like, and you feel like escaping. Ketu is a Martian energy in your 1st house. You could have sharp words because Mercury is here. You are not afraid to say what needs to be said ever, and you're going to do this now. But it's going to cause disturbance in your relationships that you may regret later. So try to hold on to your harsh words. They can come rushing out and cause such destruction in your life at this time, because actually when the sun and Mercury move into your 2nd house, 20th, 21st of December, you will see factors that you are not seeing now because of the darkening factor. So if you can just wait a little bit and don't make precipitous moves, any changes at this time, particularly in relationships, will have to be compromised later. So try to hold on to your own integrity. As I say, you are definitely going to find that people have your well-being at heart, that partners, spouse, new relationships in your life are necessary to you. Hold on before you make moves that you may regret in regard to relationships at this time. So for Sagittarius Moon and Sagittarius Lagna, it's a very interesting phase in your life with Rahu in your 6th, Ketu in your 12th, right the way up until April 22. This is the first eclipse in this transit for you. This is going to favor you because Rahu puts you in the driving seat. You get rid of competition. You get rid of conflictions in your work situation and in your health. And litigation goes in your favor. But the trouble is, to have these things happen, they have to come up, right? So health issues have to appear. There has to be conflict in your workplace. There have to be litigations coming forth, and there have to be competitors. Some of them are secret competitors also, and you're going to find out exactly who they are. It's quite useful to you. Why? Because the Mercury Lord of your 7th house has gone into your 12th house. So you find who your secret rivals are. You find out magnificent information at this time that opens your eyes to anybody actually who is working against you. This puts you in a very powerful position, even though it's a little bit disconcerting. Health issues are definitely going to come to the fore. Spousal health issues maybe also, but once again, you're going to get through these. Wait until December. To begin with, however, Sagittarius, the 14th of December, the total solar eclipse is disturbing to you. It all becomes like an overwhelming burden because the Sun, Ketu, Mercury, Moon, and Venus are all here in your 12th house. You're becoming overtired, overstressed. Unconscious fears and worries are in abundance now. You simply want to get away from it all. You love to travel, right? Well, you would love to hide away in some foreign land at this time. You may be able to, some of you, and it may be actually good for you at this time. But here's the thing. When you get over the darkening of this eclipse, when the Sun moves forward into your own sign of Sagittarius and conjuncts exactly Mercury, Lord of your 7th house, all the solutions to your dilemmas come to you. What are those dates? 20th and 21st of December. Circle them right now in your diary. Information comes to you at that time that shows you directly what you have to do in partnership situations, in litigation and health situations. You find your way forward at that time easily and smoothly. So despite all of your fears and all of your worries, it's going to work out for you magnificently, actually. The Capricorn Moon and Capricorn Lagna, both Rahu in your 5th, Ketu in your 11th. It's a change in your confidence level now. You are wanting to be more independent, more free to be creative in your life. You may be having children now, but there may be some difficulties at this full moon with children in your life for some of you. There may be friendship breaks now, difficulties with your network circles. You're not on the same wavelength and you are having to see the reality of the situation. So the 30th of November makes it very obvious to you that some sacrifices in your life have to be made to move forward as you would like to. But despite the emotions of the full moon, Capricorn, it's the 14th of December, total solar eclipse. It is the most transformative for you. It won't be easy though. The Sun, Ketu, Mercury, Moon, Venus are all in your 11th house, your future orientation in life. Where are you going? Who are you taking with you? It's definitely going to change, particularly your career. Venus is your 10th house lord and is implicated in this total eclipse. You're going to be having difficult conversations with your superiors. You're going to have to take a change in your career, sometimes outside of your control. Some of you may be actually going to a part-time situation where your whole income is reducing because K2 is here. But if you think about it, you want this. You want more time for your own creative endeavors. You want more time with your kids, actually. It's all going to work out well for you. Finally, friendship circles are changing in a major way. People who you have relied on as your deepest friends, or at least close friends, are going to be going in a different direction to yourself. You do not share the same value systems, and you may have to see parting of the ways, some of you, at this time. Aquarius, Moon and Lagna. The lunar eclipse occurs in your 4th house of home, but the solar eclipse is in your 10th house of career. It's a major turning point in this Kendra eclipse cycle. This eclipse is highlighting this Rahu Ketu transit up until 2022, where you are leaving behind careers. You are changing career. You are coming out of the limelight into your private world. Home life, family life is becoming so crucial to you. This doesn't mean that you are unemployed, far from it, but you are working from home now. I know many people are, but it's an important factor in this Rahu transit. You want more freedom. You want to do more creative things off your own back, and you are being constrained by your work situation. It's holding you back. It's not the right place for you anymore, and this becomes very obvious at this lunar eclipse, because conversations in your home with your family have to be had now, and they are very difficult indeed. There may be concerns with your mother, with elder family members also, so it's a quite emotional time when you have to stay as calm as you can, because the really big changes are definitely going to happen in December. In December, the total solar eclipse, Aquarius, is packed into your 10th house. It's the Sun, the Moon, Venus, K2, Mercury. Everything is there giving you the chance now to renew your career. It's a new place for you, though. You cannot go on anymore in your job situation. It's got to change. It's got to totally change. It's a total solar eclipse, but it's going to be good for you. Do not be afraid. You are a fixed sign. You don't like total change at all, but this is going to be good for you. What's the most important factor in this eclipse? It is in fact that the Sun, which is being eclipsed here, is your 7th house lord. So this is going to change your whole relationship with your partner at this time. Conversations with your spouse have to be had. Your career is having a direct impact on your relationship. You may even have a relationship with somebody, some of you, in your workplace. It needs to change. It's not working. It's causing so much disturbance. So this magnificent change in your career is going to impact your intimate spousal relationship in a favorable way, even though at the time it's confrontational and it's a major headache for you, because you like to stay stable. You don't like huge changes. This is all about rivalry, so you may have had to leave your job because of rivals. All sorts of undercover factors may have removed you from your job, and it's hard to let go when these things occur, but you have to. It's a total eclipse. You have another career waiting for you very soon. Let this go. It's going to be fine, I promise you. For Pisces Moon and Pisces Lagna both, Rahu in your 3rd and Ketu in your 9th is a magnificent transit for you up until 2022. As I say, check my video to see what this means, because it's giving you inspiration. Your communication is becoming inspired. You are going to have fantastic career success in all communication industries, writing, teaching, ICT, digital factors. You are absolutely going to go far, and you are on the move now, having exciting contacts in your life. It's also very, very good for your sibling relationships, because factors come to the fore that show you that you have more in common than you thought. But at the eclipse, lunar eclipse at the end of November, it's difficult. Confrontations with your siblings are emotional. Do you have so much in common with them? You begin to doubt. You are not seeing the whole situation clearly at this time, but secrets are coming to the fore that surprise you with siblings and family members at this time for certain. What else is occurring is that you are changing idea of who your spiritual guide is. Who is your guru? Who do you trust? Who do you feel inspired by? You are making a definite shift due to new information coming to you at this time. The total eclipse happening in your 9th house shows that many of you will be on the move at this time, maybe with your siblings as well, because Venus is involved here. It's a very important time for understanding factors about your father. Issues from the past, from your father's side of your family, which may involve siblings, are going to be coming out now. It's really going to make you feel that you didn't know anything that was actually going on in your family before. It's most revealing for you. Most importantly, contacts with people who live in foreign lands, or if not foreign lands, at some distance from yourself, have to be cut out of your life at this time. Your future up until 2022 is in your immediate environment where you live, not at far distant places. So foreign travel, long distance travel, has to be cut out of your life. It is draining your resources and your energy, and you have to say goodbye to people who you do meet normally at a distance at this time. If you are in education, it's a make or break moment. Many of you leave education course at this eclipse. You have no choice. You're on the wrong course. It's not giving you value anymore, and you have to cut it out. But that's fine, because you are going to become an independent learner in this Rahu Ketu transit. For sure, you will not lose out by leaving behind education at this time. It has to go. You have to move forward. Up on your screen now, Rahu Ketu in Taurus and Scorpio right up until 2022. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now, and God bless everyone.